Hi, welcome to the Quinte Rouge GLP Introduction to Dragon Boat Weightlifting, Part 1. By now you've been sent your workouts. I'm just going to go over each one of the exercise in order to optimize it for paddling dragon boating. And that means more functional strength, more strength endurance focus, and instability to make sure that those stability muscles are fully injury proofed for our paddling season. So come along with me. You should have that workout. There's 4 weeks of workouts in there. It's progressive. It's based on the principle of muscle confusion, in that not only are you doing unstable versions of each of those exercises, you're also doing them at different weights and in different reps. So that sheet should tell you about the reps. There's 4 sets of each exercise. They're designed for a 2-week period, each day being different, 2 days a week. And you can add that or start your Road Back to Fitness program with those exercises. So I'm just going to go over the variations of what you can do with those and introduce kind of the dragon boat style or the paddling style that I'd like you to attack this weight program with. So first up, you'll notice on your sheet there's 2 leg exercises. One is the leg curls. Now I realize most of us won't have a machine, especially in the home gym situation. So I'm going to give you some alternatives for that particular exercise, leg curl exercise. Now, a real basic part of your gym workout equipment should be what's called a physio or Swiss ball. And all that is a strong rubber ball that's fairly large and moves around fairly easily. And you can use this for a bunch of exercises. This is actually my weight bench, which I'll show you in a little while how to use that. But for the leg curls, because this goes up and down, it's easy to work with your hamstrings. You can use this as the hamstring curl, and variations of this is to make sure your butt is up and then the legs, the heels are pulled in towards your butt, just like that. And the less you use your arms for stability, the more you have to use your core, and you can actually feel your core tighten up. So that would be 1 rep. To make it more difficult, you can use 1 leg and do each set with only 1 leg. So pull that leg into the butt, just like that, suspending the butt up off the floor. That's how you can do a leg curl. Now you can do a couple of alternatives for that. And a real good one for the hamstrings, which is that part of the leg that we're going to use, because injury is all about keeping those strength ratios in balance. That's why we're doing the hams and the quads separately. It's called the one-legged deadlift. And all this is a couple of weights, or if that's too hard for you, don't bother with it. You can use kettlebells or dumbbells. And what you do with this is all you do is take 1 foot off the ground, so you're kind of on 1 leg, and reach down to the ground with those weights and come back up, trying to not make contact with the ground. And then just repeat that for the amount of reps that you have to do. Then do the same thing with the other leg. Just the same idea. What you're doing is trying to maintain stability on that 1 leg and anchor yourself with the core, and then stand up. That's one of the alternatives that you can use. The other one, because we don't do any squats, but squats are a great exercise, we can start with this. If you do a goblet squat in replacement of this, you can use it like this. Use a dumbbell. Again, you can use a kettlebell in any way you want, but use this is a goblet squat. So what you do if you have a dumbbell is hold it on the heels of your palms, and then just strictly come down, keeping your back straight till you're about at a right angle parallel to the floor. To help you with that, you can use a little stool And any type of squat like this, just come down to the seat and then come back up. And that would be 1 rep. If you can't use a weight, that's fine. Use as light as you want, or you can do the prisoner squat. It's just taking your hands behind your head, and same idea. It helps keep your back straight if you put your hands behind your head. Same idea. Come down to the stool and just bring it up. Those are all variations of that one leg exercise if you don't have a machine at home. All of those are possible. All of those you can use to replace that one exercise. The other leg exercise is the walking lunge. Now, ordinarily you could use 2 kettlebells, 2 dumbbells, whatever you like. And all that is coming down to the ground with your knee, and coming back up and taking another step with the other knee. And that's the walking lunge. You can do it without weights. Again, you can do it prisoner squat style. This is great because it results in a lot of instability here, and you really have to stabilize yourself with all those muscles that you need. Uses all the muscles, knees, hips, so all of those are good. That's the second exercise. These lunges are very good. No equipment required, so make sure that's your second leg exercise. Now going down that list, the next exercise you'll see is the bench press. Now a lot of you won't have weight benches, which is fine. I actually don't even use mine. I use this. So this is my that's my weight bench. Again, what that does is introduces that instability, makes you have to balance, makes you have to tighten up your core, so it becomes a whole body exercise in order not to lose the weight. And what's even better is you do it with one arm, so that forces you even more to make it a stabilization exercise. And what you do is you lie on the ball and push up like this. If you don't have the ball, and you don't want to get one, or can't store it, whatever, go to the floor. You don't need a bench, because in actual fact, as soon as your elbows go below your chest, there's a lot of shoulder interaction, and that can be dangerous for your shoulders. So just do it on the floor if you need to, and do one arm because that forces some stabilization. I'll just demo that for you. So what you'll see you can also use, what's nice about this is you can also use both arms to bring up that weight. Get to the shoulder portion, so lower all the way down the ball till you're about the shoulders, in between the shoulder blades. You can help yourself up with one arm, take the other arm straight out, and then just push up. Just like that, just like a press. You have to tighten your core in order to do it so you don't roll off the ball. And you can do the appropriate number. First number, I believe, is 12. Make sure that your floor is clear if you're trying it on the ball for the first time, because you might and probably will fall off until your core can stabilize you. You're making your core stronger in order to do that exercise, which is fantastic for paddling, because as we paddle, we're going to need that core and that core strength. The next one is chin-ups. Now with the chin-ups, a lot of you might not be able to do it. I'll show you in a minute how you can still do it even if you can't do one chin-up. But the alternative to this is the upright row. So what you're doing is you're taking your kettlebells or your dumbbells and bringing them up to your chin, keeping your elbows at about shoulder height. So all you're doing is pulling it up. 3, 4. That'll give you kind of the same exercise. And because you're using dumbbells and not a barbell, there's some more instability introduced into it, but it's all in upper back. Now, I'm going to adjust this. Make sure you can see me over there. That's my chin-up bar. Another piece of great equipment is the Perfect Pull-Up Bar. I think it's $30. You can mount in any doorway. It's way better than the one that's loose and it flips over. This is pretty steady, and you can use it for both the chin-ups and the reverse row, which I'll show you later. In any case, the chin-up bar here, if you have a resistance band, and the band is that circle, you can flip it over your chin-up bar. This comes out, and use that to assist you in the chin-ups. Now, when you have the one with handles, it's even easier. You can just put your feet in those handles. And what that does is makes your body a lot lighter. And then try to do a chin-up with the bands, assisting. Chin-ups are really the ultimate paddling exercise because they really stress out all those big back muscles that we need for that good sit-up and that drive through. Chin-ups are great. If you can't do it, do the upright row. And that will substitute that. All right. I'm going to show you the other exercises as they come down. The hammer curl is a bicep curl. It's one of the few that we're going to do directly here, but we're going to do it a drag boat style. So hammer curl is not your normal twist curl. What it is, it's just straight up to your shoulder. So the weight comes straight up and the elbows stay at your side. They remain motionless. The only thing that's moving right now is the forearm. And then you can, if you do it alternatively, you have to tighten up your core in order to hold that position. So really good exercise, makes the core and the back muscles work while you're doing the exercise. So that's the hammer curl. Hammer curl is also good for any exercise because what you're doing is you're holding your hands in a neutral position, which is how you hold the paddle. So try to do those exercises this way. It also exercises the forearm muscle here. So all of those are things you need when you paddle. So hammer curl is the next exercise. Single arm rows. Now, if you have a Swiss ball, you can use that. If you have a little stool, you can use that. You can use a bench, you can use a chair, anything to rest your one arm just like this. When you have that one arm, you can't see that, so I'm going to go to the ball here. So when you have your one hand on here, you're going to lift the weight with the other arm. So right now I'm resting my left arm on the ball. I'm going to use my right hand to pull that weight. More so to make it sure that I'm using my stabilization muscles and involve the core with this, I'm going to lift that same opposite side leg up, and then I'm going to use the weight to pull up like this. So it's almost like I'm starting up a gas mower. All right. So what that does is, again, I'm not stable and I'm lifting a weight which forces my core to stabilize the whole body. And this is a very functional exercise because it's very much like being on the boat with your waterside leg pushing off. So you can do that, all of that in this motion here, pulling it up to the side. All right. While having your hand either on an unstable Swiss ball, or I can use a stool for the same thing. Makes it a little more stable. That's your upright row. Do one set on one side, and then do the other side for the full set. What do we got next? We did the walking lunges. Unstable push-ups are next. So, many, many variations you can do for unstable push-ups. Having a medicine ball is really good. Having a Swiss ball is really good. So what you can do with these to give yourself an unstable push-up is do your push-ups on the Swiss ball. Just like this. Making sure, again, your perimeter is object-free, especially with weights, because they are difficult. And you may well find yourself moving to one side too much than the other. The other thing you can do is I like to do my push-ups on a medicine ball, and I'll either use 2 or I'll use 1. Now you can use 1 in several ways. 1, you can just put your hands on it and do the push-up because the ball is inherently unstable. That'll force you to use your core. The other way to do this push-up is have one hand on the ball. Can you see that? Yeah. Take it through here. Have one hand on the ball as you do the push-up. Switch over and then do the other push-up, just like that. And then do that number required, whether it's 12 or 10. So that's a couple of examples of how you can destabilize a push-up. Of course, you don't need a ball either. You could just do your shoulder touch. So that'd just be a regular push-up and touch your shoulder and then touch the other one. Forces your core to be involved a lot more. Push-ups are real good core exercises anyway, but just add that little bit of load and dimension. Do them on your knees if you have to. Do whatever you have to do, but work your way up. We can start, we always have to start somewhere. So start at whatever you can do that number at. The next one is a reverse pull-up. And again, I'm going to show you what it's like on this over here. This is my TRX strap. The TRX strap is great because it's unstable. And all I'll do here is a reverse row, strictly holding your body straight and pulling yourself up to the rope. Just like that. I don't know if you can see back there, but if you want to make it even more unstable, you can raise your legs on either a bench, or maximally unstable is another Swiss ball because it'll move. It'll force you to use your core to stabilize. Reverse rows, there's something that you can set up at home. That perfect pull-up bar will come out and become a bar that you can pull yourself up on. If there's nothing that you can really figure out what to do, you can also just do a barbell bent over row, just like this. That will basically exercise the same thing if you have a barbell. If you don't have a barbell, you can use your dumbbells, same idea. Keep your back straight and then just draw it into the chest like this. A little bit different than the one-armed row, a little more stable, but a little different in terms of giving you variation for your back exercise. But do something that exercises those muscles. So the bent over row is a good substitute. We're getting down to the bottom here. 2 more lying tries and shoulder 21s. So for your lying triceps, again, I like to use the ball just because it's inherently unstable. And what you have to do with the lying tries is lie back here, keep your elbows upright in a stationary position, and just pull them up like this. Okay, if you have kettlebells, grab them by the handles here, it becomes a harder exercise. You can see me struggling with my left hand because I only have 4 fingers. If you hold it like this, it's a little bit easier. It's up to you. Whatever load you can take for whatever number is in that workout sheet I gave you, find your limit. Make it challenging. Don't make it easy. Make it a little bit challenging. You're only going to do that twice a week, that workout. And those exercises will change with every workout. So you're actually doing most of those exercises only once a week. So challenge yourself a little bit. Should take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. If you need to, take some breaks in the weight workout to recover for the next set if you have to do that. The last one I'm going to show you is called the shoulder 7. So for this workout, it's a great stability exercise. What you need to do is have a fairly light weight. This is not to get yourself big bulging shoulder muscles. This is just to exercise all those capsule muscles to make sure it's stable and you're not going to injure yourself. So the first one is bringing the weight up to your side and a little bit of an angle. So not completely your side, but at a comfortable angle, say at about 30 degrees away from your body. So that first exercise is like this. And you do that 7 times. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch to the front, keeping your hands in palms against your legs, and then lift up alternatively. When one's down, don't take a rest. Make sure you're always moving. And when you have 7 of these, immediately switch to an overhead press and do 7 of those. And that's your set of shoulder 7s. That is that weight workout done dragon boat style. The more instability you add, the better it is for your paddling overall. And I want you to start with that weight program now. Do it twice a week. The different workouts are in there. So use that one first workout for the first 2 weeks. Then switch to the second to the next week. So what we're trying to do is consolidate your strength and build it up by doing fewer reps at a higher weight. And you'll notice each one of those sets have a different number attached to it. So one is a warm-up set at a lighter weight, and then a little bit more weight, few fewer reps in the middle 2, and then back to that original weight for the 15. And that's your first 2 weeks. If you have any questions, if you want to substitute any equipment, I was telling the other people on Saturday that instead of weights, if you can't afford them or you can't find them now because they're all sold out, what you can do is buy the 1 gallon bleach or 2 gallon bleach bottles, fill them with water, and use that as your weight. They're great. They look exactly like kettlebells, or you can use them as dumbbells. You can use them to push up when you're doing your bench press. You can use them to do arm curls. You can use them for try, and you can use them accurately because weigh them, once you fill them up, weigh them until they are the 15 or 20 pounds that you're looking for. Just put them on the weigh scale and you'll be good. It's as accurate as a dumbbell, or probably more so, because I know dumbbells are often out. So, but that makes it all cheap for you. So some basic equipment. We're going to start using maybe that jump rope in a couple of weeks. And the resistance bands come this week on Saturday. So make sure you get yourself a few of those. Pick them up at Marshall's or what's the other one? Winners. You can usually pick them up in their fitness section. Canadian Tire sometimes has them. They're not sold out and they're not expensive, and you can use them in substitutive weights anytime you want. But we're going to do that on Saturday, doing it Tabata style, so everyone will find their resistance, and they're infinitely modifiable from the very not fit to very fit. I use them at least once a week. So we'll add that in next week. Anyway, I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, make sure you give me a call. Talk to you soon. Hopefully we'll see all of you Saturday.